What's going on, guys? This is Mechanical High, and today we'll be walking through my 2013 Mustang V6 Premium Edition. Let's get it.
Pour it in your ice tray.
Latch doesn't work. Where are these hold? Pretty much built this car.
Nice.
Yeah, let's go.
So,
I need coffee.
coffee? Okay, take it. I should have got myself one too. Dude, I'm so tired. I slept 4 hours today. I'm not going to put that in the video, but it's getting put in. What's going on, guys? So, basically a while ago, I purchased this vehicle from my good friend Rob, which he himself built. The only thing I added to the vehicle itself was a Starlight headliner kit that we also made a video on, so it's gonna be popping up somewhere up here so you can watch it. And other than that, everything else was left by the master himself, who has crafted this beautiful piece. And I'll let him take it from here.
Yeah, so I bought this car completely stock in 2015, I believe. Factory color was race red. Loved it, first car. Immediately jumped into mods. First thing I did was exhaust, and then I put an RTR front lip on it. On the same lip that's on there, because the RTR one got shattered by an opossum. After that, started tinkering more, started to get into more of the custom diffusers and custom side skirts and custom front splitters. So the custom diffuser and the custom side skirts are still in the car. I was not happy with how the front splitter turned out, so I ended up stop making those. So custom diffuser, I guess I'll walk through that real quick. It is pretty much high strength ABS plastic, which is literally bulletproof material. Only up to like 22 caliber, but still bulletproof. And so it's got a relatively low melting temperature, so you can just use a heat gun or a blowtorch, and whatever angle you want it at, just heat up that line, and then you can just bend it into shape, and it's good to go. As far as the fins go, you can either epoxy them or just screw them into the top plate of the actual plastic. And yeah, it turned out really well. I'm really good. And yeah, it's been baller ever since.
That's awesome. So
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
We're gonna cut that.
So also on the Mustang, a really key feature that a lot of people will see at car shows, and also if I'm on the road, is the fact that the height of the car can be modulated. And that's because there is an airbag suspension that you have installed on the car, right?
Yep. So about 2 years into owning the car, 2.5, decided to pull the trigger on Airlift V2 Performance suspension. Always wanted bags. It was going to be a show car. That was kind of my vision of it. So bought the kit, installed it probably 90% of the way, and then I took it over to the guys at Airlift Performance over in Lawrenceville, and they just kind of did a once-over on everything, make sure everything was hooked up correctly. The system's been great. I've only had 2 issues with it in my entire life of owning it. The actual module itself that controls the height and everything went out about 2 months into me owning it, but just reached out to Airlift. They have great customer service. Said, hey, I need a new module. Sent one out, no problems. Haven't had any issues since. The other issue that I had was a little fitting that connects to the braided airline from the airline that connects to the tank. Went out on me. And again, that was kind of my fault, because when installing it, I was like, hey, this could possibly give me some issues in the future. And it gave me some issues in the future. Kind of left me stranded on the side of the road. But yeah, it's 30-way adjustable dampening, great ride. You can obviously air out for the pedals.
For the peasants?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
We are kings on the road. No, I'm joking. So also you put a custom carbon fiber wing on the rear, and it is very unique. I haven't seen any wings like it on any other car, actually, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, so I have a buddy who lives in California now that custom makes carbon fiber wings, or at least did. So reached out to him. I was like, hey, I want a big wing for the Mustang. I don't like anything that's on the market. What can you do? Point me to one of the wings that he currently did make and sell. And I was like, cool, let's do it. Bought it, threw it on, loved it. Haven't turned back since. I'm a big wing person, and I've loved it. Some of the small stuff that I've done are MMD louvers on the quarter windows. The splitter front chin spoiler that's on it right now, I don't know what it's called. It's the GTCS style, maybe, sure. Side skirts, diffuser. I've done 2 different versions of headlights. This is V2. Sadly, the Bluetooth module is shot, so we need another one of those to just kind of make them work again. But my first build of the headlights were fully black internals, and then just I had the little halo ring that goes around the actual headlight itself, and it only changed from like red, blue to whatever color that you want, and it was stationary color, it didn't fade or anything. After a while, I got bored of those. I was like, all right, let's start up a notch. Sold those to my buddy, got his headlights, and I put an RGB Flow Series halo kit in it, along with gloss fully black internals, which are those right now. And so those can do like the rainbow effect. They can swirl, twirl, curl, all the other movements. Swivel, if you want to swivel. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Well, another key feature, if ever someone wants to walk up to the car, whenever you look into the interior, you can see that the dash has been painted in a sort of interesting
Casual
concept.
crime scene, one would call it.
That's a valid name for it.
Yes.
What was the idea behind it? Why'd you go with that?
Yeah, so everybody and their grandmother has a Mustang. You see them everywhere, especially the V6 Mustangs. And when I got it, my first car, my parents wouldn't let me really get a V8, so I was like, all right, let's get a V6 and see what I can do. So right off the gate, I wanted to make it something unique. So I kind of went with kind of a time attack for the back end of it, with a big wing, big diffuser. And then for the interior, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna see if this idea works. So ripped out the entire interior along with some of the engine bay components, spray painted them with flat white, and then went at it, splatter painting it with black, gold, and red, just on a spoon. Just going at it, and it turned out really good. It kind of looks like a crime scene. That's why it's a casual crime scene.
It does look really
definitely
cool.
Unique.
I like how you tied the gold in there as well, just that little flake to add that little bit of oomph. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, it looks good. Really happy the way it turned out.
And so you did a lot on the exterior side of the car, and I did one thing on the interior, I guess. What did you do for power? Because obviously you're not trying to rice out the car.
Right.
You're a man of performance as well.
Right. So since it is a V6, I knew it wasn't going to be pushing tremendous power without going a boosted way. So bought the car, threw a Roush Axleback exhaust on it, drove on that for about a year. It was great. After about a year, I decided it needed some more loud. So stepped it up to a BBK Cat X pipe that was full length. And so that pretty much finished out the exhaust. That's how it sits right now. It's got a great tone to it, and it honestly sounds like a V8.
Insane. For a V6, it is insane.
Yes.
I mean, we'll play a couple of clips. Just listen to this. So,
it's up there as far as the better sounding, at least in my opinion, and everybody else's opinion. Yeah, for more power, it's got an MPT performance tune on it, and I've got an additional MPT tune to it. That's a ghost cam. That sounds mean. Then in addition to that, I just have a cold air intake on it. It's the K&N Typhoon series intake system, and that'll pretty much wrap it up for performance.
so basically just bolt-ons and a tune.
Yeah, bolt-ons and a tune.
Wow. I mean, that's pretty impressive. And now, what were you estimating that so a stock car, what they're saying is what put out 300 to the crank?
Yeah, it's 315 out of the box, factory to the crank. If these calculations are correct from the little sheets that you get, and the numbers that are estimated, it should be around 370 crank-ish.
Yeah.
So if you do the math, it's like 330-ish wheel.
Yeah, 330, somewhere around there. That's not bad for a V6 car with just bolt-ons and a tune. And
Yeah,
MPT by far, from what I've read and heard, is one of the leading companies when it comes to tuning Mustang V6 motors.
Right.
So, one cool feature that I really like about the Mustang is the fact that you added a wide body kit. So, what company did you go through to basically purchase this
Yeah.
kit?
So wide body is from Fiberglass Mafia. Fiberglass Mafia. It's just their regular S197 over fenders. And once again, since you see Mustangs everywhere, you don't see many wide bodies. And when they are wide body, it's usually something from like a True Fiber company or something like that. And so I chose to go with Fiberglass Mafia. It was a little bit cheaper, but I thought it gave that same really aggressive look, as you see. So really happy with the way it turned out. They're just bolted in there. Obviously the fenders are cut, which is a nerve-wracking process to say the least. And yeah, that's pretty much the fenders.
And to go time with the whole white wrap, why'd you choose like a white wrap? I know that previously Rob has done previous stages in different colors to the Mustang. So do you want to like go through that?
Yeah, so the car has been 4 different colors. Started off as a factory race red color. Then I switched over to Avery Dennison's Gloss Roaring Thunder, which is a cool purple to gold color shift color. Loved that. Got dirty super quick though and kind of messed with the color changing effect of it. So tore that off, went back to red for a few months, and then I was like, all right, let's try this plastic dip stuff out. And it was my favorite thing ever, just with the design that I did. It was satin black with a complete graffiti pattern over it. It was an absolute neck breaker, if I do say so myself, and it was just something that was absolutely unique and me, so to speak. And you can picture right here to show that. That was my favorite. After that, I wasn't too happy with how the material of the dip held up. Probably just because I spread it wrong, nothing wrong with the actual material itself. So I switched it over to this white, which is 3M Satin Frozen Vanilla, which is a satin white with gold flake in it, or gold pearl in it. And once it catches the sun, that gold really pops, really complements the wheels. It's sick.
With the wheels especially, since you went with white and gold.
Right.
And your wheels, you got them off Fitment Industries, right?
Yep, so from Fitment Industries, they are ESR SR06s. The specs are 18 by 10.5 plus 20 all the way around with a 255 tire.
What brand tire are you running?
Federal. They're Federal RSR, whatever. Really good tires. They've been my daily tires for a long time. So as far as the wheels go, probably gonna get some hate for, oh, you're running reps of the Workmeisters. Yes, but also it was my daily, and I didn't want to ruin $4,000 wheels, so I was okay with running reps. Still looked good, still gave that stance that I wanted, so I'm happy with it. And I think he is too. Yep.
So with this car now being mine, I'm hoping that I can take over the legacy of Rob's Mustang and start building it to what I desire. And with that being, everything on the exterior is done. I think, other than a rewrap in the future, obviously, to keep the actual vinyl wrap fresh. The car itself is perfect. Maybe in the future I'll change out the wheels for something else. But I love the white and gold. You did a really good job with that. Usually I'm more of a red and like black rim kind of guy, you know, like more sporty, dark looking.
More stealthy.
It's more stealthy, yeah. But the gold and white complement each other so well. And I love how the wheels as well, they have the chrome dish on the outside. I'm not a huge fan of chrome, but that little touch on the exterior of the car just, you know, it just gets your heart racing. And so what I'm hoping to do in the future now, because everything is done on the exterior, and I basically added all the interior mods that I can add, other than in the future and in an upcoming vid, we're going to be installing a Tesla designed screen for the Mustang, because your boy needs a backup camera. I need a backup camera in that thing. You cannot see anything out the rear, especially since that wing is in that. But we'll get into that in another video.
Window louvers don't help at all.
Yep, that's very true. Oh, but what I'm hoping to do in the future is I'm going to basically pro charge it. And a lot of you may be saying, why don't you just Coyote V8 swap it? You know, it's a Mustang, muscle car, V8 muscle sound. And you're not wrong. I've always loved the Coyote, and I've always wanted to have a Coyote motor, or a Coyote powered car. But the only thing is performance based. The only thing is that I'm going for more performance based for track. And muscle cars aren't really renownedly known for being track cars. You know, they're usually
straight lines.
Yeah, straight, exactly. drag racing type things. So what I'm hoping to do is basically I'm going to pro charge a V6 to make around 500 wheel horsepower. There have been speculations on what this motor can run, but there have been a lot of builds where people would pro charge the V6 and it would reliably run with 500 for years on end, as long as you take care of it with upkeep and maintenance and change the oil. That's a big necessity. And after the pro charger, I'm thinking maybe an underglow kit, just for an extra little bit of flair. And who knows, maybe I'll do a big wing delete in the future just for fun, and then I'll put it back on. But I love the wing as well.
I don't know how I feel about that, my guy.
I love the wing. I really do. But we'll see how everything goes with it.
It's his car. I trust him to keep on building it. So
It's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be cool.
So, and another thing, Coyote swap would be cheaper, but again, mountain driving, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for that pristine mountain driving experience. And if I can get more power than a stock Coyote from a lighter engine, a V6 block, I have to chase after that, you know?
Right.
And the V6 sounds really good, as Rob mentioned before, with the axle back exhaust that he put on there. So it would be pointless to drop a V8 on there.
Right.
I hope you've enjoyed this little walkthrough on our beautiful 2013 Mustang.
Not our, it's his.
Oh,
It used to be mine.
he
It's
built
his.
it, so I mean, I don't know. I like saying our. I still include the original owner of it just
appreciate that.
because he, he's the one that really designed it. So I'm hoping I can resume the legacy of it. And yeah, make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll be pushing out more content in the future. So stay updated.
Thanks, guys.